Well, good evening. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro with Jim Allinder and Phil Hill for tonight's East Brunswick-Woodbridge game. We're at Prisco Stadium in Woodbridge. And Jimmy, East Brunswick comes in 5-2, as do the Barons.
Yes, they do. And, well, the game tonight is against teams that on paper have even records. But I have to tell you, I think Woodbridge has played a tougher schedule so far. They have played Old Bridge. East Brunswick has not. I did get an opportunity to see the Barons play against Old Bridge. And when you look on the camera and you see a lot of size, that's because they are big. And I think this is going to be one of the toughest tests for East Brunswick this year, Piscataway notwithstanding. The Bears come in with this to this game with somewhat of a winning streak since the Piscataway loss. They had that overtime win against Saraville last Friday night. It was a thrilling game. And offensively, they're going to really have to work hard to get the yards tonight because Woodbridge just has a big line. They hit very hard, and we're going to see a very physical game tonight, I think.
Phil, when you do look at Woodbridge, and Jimmy just mentioned that size is certainly a component of this team, 5-2, having a good year.
5-2, and believe it or not, they have a very slim outside shot, as does East Brunswick for the state playoffs. Of course, Old Bridge would have to lose to J.P. Stevens, but nevertheless, they have a shot. They've had the two losses were a 24-21 loss to Piscataway and a 26-18 loss to Old Bridge. Bill Nyers, the second-year coach, feels pretty good about his team right now and says regardless of whether they can make the playoffs or not, he wants to beat East Brunswick tonight. And I think we're going to see a real good game.
Well, we did see them come fired out of the tunnel, smoke and all, a lot of theatrics as the team came out onto the field. Beautiful night, beautiful fall night here after the weather we've had the last couple weeks. And so we're looking for a good game. East Brunswick will be kicking off. Woodbridge will be receiving Woodbridge in the dark, all-black uniforms.
And you watch the deep back for Woodbridge, number 44. That's Johnson. This guy is really legitimate. I think he's possibly a Division I prospect. That's how good he is. He's quick, good size, and East Brunswick would do well to kick the ball away from him.
He's strapping, 6'2", 205 pounds, and Bill Nyers spoke about him in glowing terms.
Well, Bettis will get ready to kick it off for the Bears. Looking for the tee. That will help to start things off. I'm sorry, he wanted his own football, I guess.
Phil, I think before this game starts, the one observation, East Brunswick probably does have the speed advantage, though, when you look at with Dave Kilkenny at quarterback and Richie Whalen and Frank Sermonello. I think maybe the edge goes to East Brunswick in the speed department.
Well, you might be right. The power, if you're going to go power, you got to talk about the Barons.
Right.
They play power football. We'll take it right at you.
Johnson is back deep. He's number 44. Bettis kicks away from Johnson. This is Burke, number 18, with the ball.
Wow.
And Burke is slammed down at the 30-yard line.
Welcome to the party.
By Kilkenny, as a matter of fact. Okay? And, you know, we've talked about Dave Kilkenny as a quarterback this year, but I still maintain he is an legitimate all-state candidate as a defensive back.
That may be, Jim, but I'll tell you, after the performance he had versus Saraville, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, you might want to even things out.
Okay.
Slickner is the quarterback for the Barons. They come out in an I formation. Russo and Johnson in the backfield. Slickner gives it to Russo, sorry. Russo fights his way to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be a real nice confrontation between a huge offensive line of Woodbridge, but East Brunswick is not small itself. I'm telling you, they have good people up front. We've talked about Feigenwinter at the nose guard. He's been really, really tough. Joel Serapin, one of the defensive ends. Bettis, of course, is a really fine linebacker. And East Brunswick, Angelo Gerbavac is up front. They can match them.
2nd and 7 for Woodbridge. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Start of the first quarter here at Woodbridge High School. They stay in that I formation. And that's Johnson. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Coming out of that I formation, not much room.
Looks like Bettis was the first one to meet him head on, but the rest of the team just converged.
Short pickup, going a gain of a yard.
You're right, Jim. Bettis and Serapin, both right there.
So Woodbridge will have a third and considerably long 5 yards for the first down.
I see Sermonello in at one of the linebackers as well, and then you have your deep backs, Richie Whalen.
2 receivers wide right for the Barons. Slickner drops back, rolls to his right, looking for someone. Throws it short, looking for Johnson, incomplete.
I'll tell you, just right off his fingertips, and you got Whalen right on his tail there. So good defensive effort by the Bears. Three up and you're out.
And I think that was the key, to put Woodbridge in a position of 3rd and long. It doesn't look like they're as quality a passing team as they'd like, so that was a good defensive effort by that team, by East Brunswick, first time around.
4th down for Woodbridge. They'll punt it away. East Brunswick will put back Whalen and I believe it's Kilkenny.
I'm not sure about
That's
that.
Kilkenny.
It is, okay.
High snap, kick is off though, good kick. Whalen will field it. Needs some help, still on his feet. Whalen crosses the 40 to about the 42-yard line.
Another nice run. Sermonello almost blocked that, by the way.
First down for East Brunswick, good field position.
And I'll tell you, the Bears coming on offense, and you'll like to see if they're going to be able to pick up against this tough Woodbridge defense where they left off at Serval. A terribly exciting game. Kilkenny put himself in the record books twice, Jim, and just an outstanding performance by Kilkenny. I think about 154 yards, but that's only half the story.
1st and 10 from their own 42. East Brunswick comes out in that E-bone formation. Kilkenny gives off to Sermonello, right side.
Yeah, he was met head on.
Sermonello may lose a yard.
Again, a lot is going to depend on the surge of the East Brunswick offensive line. If they can keep those big boys from Woodbridge out, then this E-bone's going to work. If not, they're going to have some problems.
Not only that, it's imperative that they get their fullback off. If they don't get their fullback off, they run the risk of being shut down at the line there. You got to get some initial thrust by your fullback in there. Once they respect your fullback, then the E-bone can open up.
2nd down, a loss of a yard. Let's call it 2nd and 11 for East Brunswick.
See Matt Kwan in there, number 20.
Different formation, 2 men in the slot left side. Kilkenny's going to keep it and roll left. Trying to turn the corner, does. Steps up, still on his feet, and Kilkenny's close to the first down.
I'll tell you, Kilkenny just has done an amazing job. We know about the rough start he had, the very terribly tough game against Bishop R, and then the turnover he had against Piscataway. But he came back against Serval, tied a school record for a number of touchdowns, scored 4 touchdowns, which I think tied Shanafi, Kurzal, and Jim Varick. And then he also tied a 15-year-old record for the most points scored in the game by Lynn Beleza in 1980, which was 26 points. So he's really come on. Just an outstanding performance against Serval, and he was the big difference.
And you mentioned that he had a little bit of difficulty in the deep back, defensive back position.
Last week?
Yeah.
Oh, not at all. He took one. And he took one and took it all the way.
Okay.
And as he did the year before, last year when.
East Brunswick is short on the measurement as we look down in front of us.
Okay.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down, I believe, and about a yard.
So what do you think, Phil? Do you think David is an all-state candidate for in some position?
I think David certainly can qualify as a defensive back. Offensively, I think there's a lot. You got Cardi, you got a lot of people. Okay. I don't think if he had another year under his belt at quarterback, it'd be a big difference. But he's an outstanding performer.
Well,
3rd and about a yard as the Bears cross midfield. The ball sitting at the Woodbridge 48-yard line. Here we go. Staying in that E-bone formation. Kilkenny calling signals. Gives it to Whalen. Whalen may have it, though.
Oh, yeah, he got it.
Second effort as Whalen falls forward.
I'll tell you, fine effort.
Whalen has a unique ability to spin, and that was enough, most likely, to get, depending on where they mark this. I think he's got it.
And they're going to say it's 4th down.
I think they ought to have a little measurement here.
Well, but I tell you, Jim, they're right there. They hit everybody. It does look awfully close to me.
Oh, quick.
No measurement. They're going to bring up 4th down. It looks like East Brunswick will punt.
He didn't lose anything on it, did he?
Can't believe they're not calling for a measurement.
Really? And Borden is going to punt on this, John. You know, it happened in the Piscataway game at the beginning of the second half that East Brunswick was in the same situation, elected to go for it, didn't make it, and that was a turnaround. So Borden may be learning from that.
Slickner, the brother of the quarterback, is back to receive the punt from Kilkenny. He's going to angle it to the right corner.
Good coverage.
And a good East Brunswick bounce will bring it down to about the 10-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you what. If you can look at it on film, Kilkenny had the whole right side of the field.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk. I saw he may have had the right side of the field, but you got to believe they had someone spotting him, Jim. And it's a terrible risk, and too early in the game to take a gamble like that.
Yeah.
So Woodbridge will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory, right on their own 10-yard line. We have 7:43 remaining here in the first quarter, no score. Slickner brings him out, I formation. This is Russo, flag is down, and Russo was close to breaking it.
And it's in the backfield, so you imagine it's an offensive flag.
Motion against Woodbridge is the signal. So that'll move him inside the 10.
Russo had a little bit of a burst, but he slipped and would have got more yards. Well, I don't know what the discussion's about. This is a long game. I think we had a half-hour pregame, didn't we?
Legal motion.
We've been here since Wednesday. It is a legal motion against Woodbridge. That'll move him back to the 5-yard line, make it 1st and 15. Receivers wide to each side. They stay in that I formation. Johnson is the premier back. This is Russo again inside, not much room.
And this is a team that's going to run right at the Bears, and I tell you, maybe really play into the Bears' defense. They usually have a tough time defensively when they got to chase a speedster, hitting to the outside or breaking through off tackle. Right. But if you got the big bruising backs, they'll go mano-a-mano, they'll go up with you. And the Bears can play against you like this. They beat the same Woodbridge team last year 17-0 when they needed to get in the States.
2nd and 13. Ball at about the 7-yard line. Pitch to Johnson. Johnson looking for some help. Sheds one tackler, breaks outside. It's a foot race. Johnson finally dragged out from behind.
Wow.
I have to tell you, official really missed a holding call in the backfield.
He may have missed the holding.
Germain was practically lassoed when he was going for the tackle.
I'll tell you this, speaking of tackle, if Jim Kolakowski doesn't make that tackle, he's gone. We knew the young man, Kyle Johnson, had power. I didn't realize he had that much speed. He comes in this game with nearly 900 yards, so you knew he's a player, but showing a little something right there.
Johnson brings it to the East Brunswick 38-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Woodbridge. Slickner gives it to Johnson again. He's stopped in the backfield, but it takes about 5 East Brunswick tacklers to bring him down.
And Anthony Gerberback was the initial tackler on that play there, but this is a bruising type runner here. Angelo Gerberback.
Johnson lost the yard, so it'll be 2nd and 11. Ball at the East Brunswick 39-yard line. Deepest penetration for Woodbridge thus far in the game. Slickner looks to pass, has a receiver right side.
Good tackle.
Kolakowski
really nice
brings him down.
Good tackle, Kolakowski.
Reception was made by Jamal Smith.
Well, he gave him a cushion, but certainly after that, so that only netted about 4 yards, if that. It's a good play. Kolakowski, Phil, in the North Brunswick game, made a similar tackle when I believe it was Brady.
That's right.
Took off and went all the way down the field, and then Kolakowski cut the corner, saved the touchdown, and North Brunswick never did get a touchdown.
3rd and 6. The ball sitting at the East Brunswick 28-yard line, it looks like. Pitch to Johnson, right side, trying to turn upfield, and slips down.
I'll tell you.
It's going to be a problem. You can see Russo had a problem before. So now it's a 4th down. And I'm not so sure they shouldn't punt on this.
And Kyle Johnson, a different type of runner, not like, was it Byron Scott last year,
right?
Who a little more smoother than Kyle Johnson. Johnson seems to be a little more powerful and jerky. And perhaps if he did a lot less jerking and just shoot up right through there.
Woodbridge has had its share of good runners. You know, Robert Edmonds, that runner 2 years
Boston
ago.
College.
BC right now.
Right.
Rick Slickner, brother of the quarterback, will punt away. Kilkenny goes back deep for East Brunswick. So the Woodbridge drive has stalled. Good punt this time. Should carry into the end zone. Oh, out of bounds, just around the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you, good punt. Very good punt.
Excellent placement.
And they're going to spot it at the East Brunswick 5-yard line. The Bears will have it second time on offense, deep in their own territory.
Well, this is dangerous zone for the Bears. I imagine Sermonello, the most dependable runner for East Brunswick, will be getting the ball
Sermonello will hold
here.
on to the ball, that's for sure. If
Yeah.
you want somebody who's going to hold on to the ball, Frank Sermonello will hold on to the ball. Frank, you got to believe that if I had the chance to sit in the stands the other day against Cerevel, and I'll talk about it a little bit later.
1st and 10 for East Brunswick. Full house backfield, wide receiver to the right, and we've got movement in the back. Quan started forward. So that'll move half the distance to the goal and put East Brunswick at their own 2.
Yeah, I was saying I had a chance to sit in the stands. A few of the fans bemoaning the fact Sermonello doesn't seem to be getting the ball quite as much this year. But while it's the same offense, you got different players. Gray Colheim made the ability for Sermonello to run a lot more last year.
Yes.
And it's just a different team here, so you have to use different circumstances.
1st and 15 now for the Bears.
No, it would be 12 and a half.
I'm sorry,
half the distance.
Yeah, 1st and 13. Quan goes in motion. Kilkenny still has nowhere to go.
Right at the 1, too, by the way.
I'll tell you, great pursuit by Woodbridge.
And Kilkenny's down.
Yeah, he's shaking up.
Brian Russo, number 32, coming up making a ferocious tackle.
Like his right ankle, he's favoring the right ankle.
And I'll tell you, take a good look at Kilkenny down there, and Jimmy again, the young man came into his own against Cerevel last week. Just a tremendous performance. We know what a great defensive back he is, but offensively, he put on the performance of a lifetime. You go back to the Jim Varick performance against Cerevel, and you go back to some of the great Colheim performances, and this is right up there with them. Just an outstanding performance by Dave Kilkenny, and we certainly hope he's all right. He would be a big loss on both sides of the ball, and that would be an understatement.
Well, this wet turf is creating a lot of problems, and I don't know if that caused Kilkenny to turn his ankle, but certainly he's down, and you got to figure Scott Hops is going to be coming in now.
Hops is already in the huddle.
And
Marcus Borden and Phil Hostler out on the field with Dave Kilkenny.
I'll tell you, Kilkenny seems to be getting up now. Good sign. Good, he's limping, but he's up.
He's favoring that ankle a lot. Really can't even walk on it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, a tough situation for a new quarterback to come in. We saw Scott Hops some this year, but he hasn't been in with that starting unit an awful lot, and a very tough situation for him to come in right here. Like I said, Kilkenny just finally seemed to get it all together against Cerevel, and to go down here would certainly be a bad break for the Bears.
Well, it looks like Kilkenny's sitting down again. Looks like he's going to need some help.
A few players are coming out to now assist him off the field.
And Kilkenny's just a fine young man. I remember him from the Golden Bears, Pop Warner days, and just a fine athlete there. And he's come up through the ranks, bid his time, super defensive back, a good backup quarterback last year. Had a tough time this year. And I think some of the fans were on him, but he weathered the storm, and he's emerged as one of the better quarterbacks, I think, right now. Was able to cut down on those turnovers. And in his role, Jim, you looked at me, but in his role, doing the job, he's clearly developed.
Well, Hops will be in to replace him, and this is what Mr. Hops is facing. He's facing a second 14 from his own 1 yard line.
1 yard line. That's the tough situation there.
And 3:50 showing on the clock here in the first quarter. No score.
14 East Brunswick.
Well, thing I always think about when a new quarterback comes in is the center snap.
Okay, we'll watch that. Scott Hops, the 6'1", 185-pound junior. And most people know Hops for his baseball ability, but he's a fine football player as well.
Hops, low inside handoff,
Boy,
nowhere to
he's
go.
Hammered. You know, he might be in the
And
end
I think
zone.
they're saying fumble, or safety rather.
No.
Yes, and that's what it is.
Wow.
Sermonello never got out of the end zone.
And that's the surge of the Woodbridge line that caused that.
So Woodbridge takes the lead in this game 2-0, and East Brunswick will have to kick it back to them as well.
Well, an auspicious start right there. Again, a very difficult situation for anybody to come in on, and as you pointed out, Sermonello never got out of his tracks there, and the Barons come up with the safety.
Well, try to get the glasses on the sideline to see what they're doing with Kilkenny.
East Brunswick will have the option to either kick it off or punt the ball to Woodbridge. That decision being discussed now on the East Brunswick sideline. It's a double whammy, that safety, Phil. You not only give up the points, but you also have to give up the ball.
All right, they're taking his shoe off, so they're going to probably try to retape it. So you have to think that maybe they're going to try to get Kilkenny back in this game.
And Mark, well,
Bettis will elect to kick it off.
Kicking off for the Bears, number 51, Chris Peters.
Okay. And you saw that burst by Johnson before, so you know that they want to keep it away from him.
Bettis kicks it low. Ball bounds around, fielded by one of the up men.
Wow, good field
And
position.
Saraville crosses into East Brunswick territory.
we'll be Woodbridge tonight if
Woodbridge.
you don't mind, John.
What did I say?
You said Saraville.
Saraville.
Oh, you're just a week late, okay?
They are playing tonight, right, Sarah? I'm just in the wrong town, that's all.
Oh, God, look at the field position for Woodbridge at the 41.
So the onus will be on the East Brunswick defense now to keep him out with 3:30 shown, first quarter action.
And it looks like Wolf has taken Kilkenny's place in the secondary.
And one thing we know about Wolf, he's got a fine pair of hands.
Yes.
Slickner calling signals. Pitch to Johnson, left side. He slips a little bit and is going to be dropped for a loss.
Nice play.
So
Well,
except for that run, East Brunswick has had Johnson's number tonight.
Right. And they did a good job of the defensive end or the safety on that side. Came in, I don't know who it was, but that caused Johnson to turn inside, and the rest of the defense did the job. I think that was Kolakowski that was in there.
Loss of about 2. We'll call it 2nd and 12.
I think it was Fagan.
Feigen winner?
Yeah,
Okay.
as well.
Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 47-yard line.
Johnson seems to be slipping an awful lot. You would think he's, he knows his field, and
It's just wet. Wet.
I don't think it's that wet.
They split the backs now. Slickner will roll to his right, steps up, looks, throws. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Incomplete. Looking for Johnson in the flat.
I tell you, good coverage. You had Sermonello underneath and Whalen right behind him, and Johnson wasn't going anywhere even if he caught it.
And I think Feigen winner breathing down on Slickner was another factor why that pass was hurried.
Yeah. And you're taking a glimpse at the Woodbridge passing game, and
Well, you got to watch this wide pitch to Johnson, Phil. It's worked a couple of times so far, and I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get Johnson as wide as they can.
3rd and 12.
You imagine with Wolf in here as the new back.
They put 2 receivers wide to the right, split backfield. They put Johnson almost as a slot back. Slickner rolls right, being pressured, puts it up deep. Looking for his man.
That's interference.
And they're going to call it against Kolakowski.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It was questionable, Phil.
It's close.
Yeah, no, well, you had Rich Slichner down there breaking free, trying to cut back in. Kolakowski impeded his movement there, and the official standing right there.
Okay, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Either way, it'll be a first down for Woodbridge. We're still in the first quarter. The Barons are on top, 2-0. We have 2:23 remaining here in the first quarter. kind of an up and down quarter for both teams. Some big plays and then they've stalled. The
28-yard line, 1st and 10.
Woodbridge, however, is moving. They're at the East Brunswick 28-yard line, and they have it 1st and 10. They come out now with a full house backfield. And Johnson.
Well, another flag in the backfield, so it's going to come back.
Johnson straight ahead.
Illegal motion again.
It will be against the Barons, and that'll move them back 5 yards.
And if you're Bill Nyers, you want to correct that right away. I think that's the 3rd time already, and
No, they stopped the clock again.
Just-
John,
just
this is
doesn't
a
help you.
slow quarter. Again, a lot of discussion for
Yeah, these
an
officials
obvious
are
penalty.
taking a long time, and it's
They
declined against
They
by East
refuse it.
Brunswick.
They refuse it.
Replace Pat Raphael.
Okay.
So we'll bring up 2nd and let's call it a long 9. Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 28. Slickner.
Thought he moved on that one.
Slickner keeps it himself
No flag,
and
though.
gets down to the 20-yard line.
and Scott Hobbs making the tackle.
The 20-yard line.
They'll spot it at the East Brunswick 19, so Woodbridge keeping that drive alive will have a 3rd down and about 2.
And Slickner just hiding behind that big line there to pick up that yardage.
Brunswick 19. Jerry Meggiolaro checks into the Barron huddle.
Clock down 1:35.
Making the tackle for East Brunswick on that last play.
Receivers to each side. Russo comes out as the up back. Johnson the featured back in the I formation.
It's a different quarterback.
Russo off the right side. He's got the 1st down.
Brian Russo powering his way.
And Russo's a pretty tough runner himself, averaging about 65 yards per game. And so they got a 1-2 punch here with Russo and Johnson.
1st down for Woodbridge at the East Brunswick 15-yard line.
Still, I haven't seen Dan Bechtold, the receiver for them tonight.
That's a good point.
Wonder if he's might be a little on the blink.
He's one of the big-time players for him, and you're right. We haven't seen him.
First down for the Barons. Slickner keeps it, nowhere to go this time.
Wonder if that was a busted play.
I'll tell you, nice job by Fagan Winter and Serapin.
East Brunswick defense stiffens.
So East Brunswick will hold on that down, bringing up a 2nd and 10. Ball remains at the East Brunswick 15-yard line. 40 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Meanwhile, Kilkenny is jogging back and forth on the East Brunswick sideline with doesn't appear to be limping.
And Nyers rotating quarterbacks. Very unusual.
I was
And now a
watching that.
timeout.
Yeah.
Woodbridge elects to take a timeout.
And you take a look, you see Bill Nyers taking a walk out on the field there. And Bill Nyers is just in his 2nd year of coaching here. Nyers, of course, played for the Woodbridge Barrons in 1984. And Jim, you might remember his brother, Rich Nyers, also a very good player for Woodbridge. And I got a chance to see Bill Nyers this summer. Had a chance to stop over at North Brunswick High School for the practice of the Snapple Bowl team. And Bill Nyers was the offensive line coach there. And very nice guy, very enthusiastic guy, and I asked him about it. He said, listen, I had a lot of fun, enjoyed not coaching only my kids, but enjoyed coaching some of the best kids in the county there. And he's a young guy, and he does have a lot of enthusiasm, and kids like to play for him.
2nd and 10 for Woodbridge when they break out of the huddle. We're still in the 1st quarter. 2-0 is our score on a safety. Woodbridge in the lead. The question for East Brunswick is, can Dave Kilkenny return after apparently injuring his ankle?
2nd and 10 Barons from the East Brunswick 15.
So from the 15-yard line, the Barons will bring it out. See if they stay on the ground with it. Slickner looks.
He's
He
looking
looks
for
down the
Slickner
middle.
inside.
And he looks for his brother. I think
Oh.
he's got a
I'll
touchdown.
tell you,
Yes.
nice grab.
Terrific draft.
Rich Slickner, number 5,
That was
accepts
the
the,
other
pass from
quarterback.
his brother Mike.
Yes.
I'll tell you, Slickner to Slickner, and I tell you, he just put it up there nicely, and Mike went right under, nothing but hands, caught it practically under the goalpost there.
Just as important was the job that offensive line for Woodbridge provided Slickner with enough time to throw to Slickner.
Perry on now for the extra point. 15-yard touchdown pass. The Slickner brothers converting. Perry's kick is
very good.
Very good.
Not just good, very good.
And it makes it Woodbridge 9, East Brunswick nothing, with 17 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Well, okay.
And I tell you, it's important for Woodbridge to get out like that. As you can take a look at them, they're pretty much a ball control team there. You know, they got the big backs. They like to slam and bam at you and take down there. They surprised you with that pass play there, however. But they like to play out front there. So.
And conversely for East Brunswick, they are also a team that obviously does not rely on the pass, which is going to force them into a running situation or having to take some risks, Phil, and that could be a difficult for them.
I'll tell you one thing, you got Kilkenny back.
Yeah.
I'd bring them back. I don't know if I'd bring them back to run kickoffs, but maybe that's the way you get it loosened up. Get him right out there. If he's okay, put him out there.
Well, Kilkenny and Whalen are back deep for East Brunswick, and they need to get some something going here on offense. They've sputtered thus far, as Woodbridge's defense has been pretty tough.
Very tough.
And Perry will kick it off for the Barons.
Now look at their switching here.
Okay.
Kolakowski drops back along with Quan. And Whalen up in the center as Woodbridge Perry kicks it on the ground.
Interesting.
And who gets it? Kilkenny.
I'll tell you.
Kilkenny gets
what
up to
there,
close to the 40.
Interesting. Marcus Borden did a switch there, bringing Kilkenny up, so he didn't have to run on that. And what do? They end up squib kicking it right to Kilkenny, who has to end up running on it anyway.
Well, maybe he planned on bringing his backs up, thinking that Woodbridge would try a squib kick such as it did, and actually it played right into their hands.
East Brunswick will have it at their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10, and that'll do it for the first quarter. And so at the end of one, it's Woodbridge 9, East Brunswick nothing, and they'll switch ends of the field.
This is the third possession for the Bears. First one, we thought that they had a first down, and then of course on that they elected to go for the punt rather than going for it. Then of course they were back in their own 5-yard line on the second series. That's when Kilkenny injured his ankle, and then when Hops came in, the ball was given to Sermonello, who was hitting the backfield for the safety. So this is just East Brunswick's third possession. Guys, this was a up and down week for East Brunswick soccer, I should mention. The girls and the guys won the county championship,
right.
The GMC championship on Sunday. Their girls beating Old Bridge, the boys beating St. Joseph. Congratulations to the teams. But on Thursday, unfortunately, they both went down in the Central Jersey Group 4 semifinals. East Brunswick losing to Bridgewater, and the girls losing to Bridgewater. So still in all, though, a fine season. And I guess we're about ready to go here.
All right, East Brunswick 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Start of the second quarter. They trail 9-0. Kilkenny running the offense, rolls right, drops back, looking, flag is thrown.
That's a holding penalty.
He's going to take it. He's got the left side. And Kilkenny will pick up about 8 yards.
We'll all come back.
And Nair seems to be upset. I don't know why. This appears to be the flag against East Brunswick.
Holding against East Brunswick is the call.
Being assessed against the Bears.
15 yards, this penalty.
And again, East Brunswick having trouble getting on track.
They really are. So this is going to bring up a 1st and 25 from the 25.
1st and 20, 10-yard on the hold.
Okay, here we go.
Kilkenny, inside handoff. I think it's Sermonello, nowhere to go, however.
Really?
on the dive play.
Well, on that last play before that, Kilkenny was looking to pass and could not find a receiver and elected to run. But just really the lack of an effective passing game hurts East Brunswick in this situation here.
Well, they've shown some ability to pass, Jim. And we may see it right here.
Second, and you're right, Jim, it was 25. It's second and about 25 still. Really no gain on the play. Whalen goes in motion. Kilkenny being rushed, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield.
That line just converged.
And I'll tell you, Sadhu Flimmeister, number 19, a defensive end, just blowing in there.
He's wired.
And he's wired for sure. And Bill Nyers talked about him. I asked about who are your defensive stars, and right away he mentioned Flimmeister, and you can see why.
So it's third down in a bunch, close to 30 yards for the Bears. The ball is spotted at the East Brunswick 20-yard line.
They're marching backwards, it looks like. You don't want to risk something here.
Kolakowski's wide left. Kilkenny's going to keep, follows a few blockers, picks up about 5, but that's going to force a fourth down.
21, Phil.
I'll tell you, Eric Russo coming up and laying one on Kilkenny there.
I wonder if he's related to the other Russo, Brian Russo. Okay.
So the Bears will punt it back to Woodbridge, and Woodbridge should have fairly good field position.
Right.
And they have the lead at the moment, 9-0.
And Kilkenny has to punt with that sore ankle.
Kilkenny takes the snap, gets off a good punt.
Very good punt.
Slickner will field it.
Oh, he's got a whip.
And Slickner is stopped right there by, I believe, Sermonello.
I'll tell you, just
right at midfield.
Frank Sermonello. And you got Whalen down.
Following the block of number 44, Kyle Johnson. Crossing midfield.
Is he favoring that right
And
arm?
the official saying Whalen's got to go out.
Whalen
You see Hostler,
making the tackle for East Brunswick.
Phil Hostler coming to check him out.
Firing downfield.
Looks a little bit like one of those stingers, Phil.
I think you're right.
Well,
so the Barons on that return have the ball just over midfield and into East Brunswick territory. First and 10. 9:25 remaining before halftime.
if I was Woodbridge, I'd exploit that secondary. Now you have Whalen out, you have Kilkenny out.
Slickner will give to Johnson, who busts right through, runs into the referee, or else he may have been gone. Kolakowski on the tackle,
And
but
Kolakowski holding on for dear life, because if he doesn't, you're right, Johnson is gone.
Johnson just short of the first down and bring up 2nd and 1.
And East Brunswick, if it ever had a time where it needs to buckle down, this is it. They really can't yield any more yards now.
Ball at the East Brunswick 40. 2nd and 1. Russo has the first down. Woodbridge content to just smash it up the middle.
I'll tell you, you got to be impressed with that offensive line there. They're being really physical. They're doing a good job up front there.
This is really the first time that I've seen the Bears dominated on the line.
Pushed
Here,
around
Phil.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, you said this Woodbridge team gave Old Bridge a scare.
Yeah, they. I thought they had a chance. At one time in the third quarter, they were winning, and it was only a couple of breaks by Old Bridge that was they were fortunate enough to win.
First down Woodbridge from the East Brunswick 38. Slickner keeps it, pitches back to Johnson, left side. Johnson turns the corner and he'll pick up about 3.
Okay, and Whalen coming up to make the tackle along with Kolakowski. And Kolakowski's been in on a bunch of tackles tonight.
Bring up 2nd and about, let's say, 7. Ball resting at the East Brunswick 35-yard line.
Once again, making the defensive play for the Bears, number 11, Jimmy Kolakowski.
Magyar wide left, Slickner to the right. Russo and Johnson in the backfield. This is Johnson, and he'll pick up maybe a yard. bringing
Quan.
up third down.
Matt Quan
Matt
and
Quan,
Sermonello.
Matt Quan coming in from
This time it's Kyle Johnson on a short inside burst.
to make that tackle.
Brunswick rotating quickly to the play defensively.
3rd and 6.
Jerry Meggiolaro.
Woodbridge. Big play here for East Brunswick's defense.
And you got to believe that the Barons are going to go to the air here. I mean, Slister, number 5, has shown a good pair of hands, and you got number 9.
That's
Magyar.
Magyar. Slickner calling signals. Will drop back, short drop, looks for his brother down the right side, and not this time. So to bring up a 4th and 6.
And Marcus Borden is mad. He thought there was a little offensive interference there.
I don't think so.
And the officials didn't call it.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think anybody was going to catch that ball. Slickner tried to create some contact. So,
Well, decision on the sideline for Woodbridge. Looks like they're going to go for it.
I think they should kick. With a 9-0 lead, you can put East Brunswick up, again back deep in its own territory.
Kick to where, Jim? They're on the...
They're on the 34.
4th and 6 from East Brunswick 34. Woodbridge will go for it. Slickner to the short side of the field. Steps up.
Ooh, close.
It is very close.
And we'll see where he stepped out of bounds.
I'll tell you, if Slickner's showing
Yeah,
good
he's got
speed
it.
there.
I think he's got it.
Takes it down the home sidelines.
They're going to call for a measurement, I believe. Officials talking.
Knocked out of bounds, spot.
Well, this is the crew that doesn't need to call for a measurement. Remember,
No, he's got it by
Now
a
they're going to
yard.
call for it.
He's got it by a good yard.
So the chain gang will come across the field, and we'll see if Woodbridge picked up a first down.
Boy, Slickner had the whole side.
He had the left side
Yeah,
wide
really
open.
did.
The Woodbridge High School PTSA has sponsored it for the past 2 years. This year, all 3 township high schools will be participating in Project Graduation.
First down, Woodbridge.
Okay. And Mike Slickner with some fine running there stepped out of a tackle to pick up that all-important first down.
So Woodbridge keeps the drive alive. They lead 9-0 with 6:39 showing on the clock before halftime. Quite honestly, this game has been dominated by the Barons. And East Brunswick's defense has been out on the field a long time this first half. 1st and 10. Slickner looking inside for his brother. He's got him.
Wow.
He's got him at the 15, just short of the 15-yard
I'll
line.
tell you, did a short pump, sort of a short jerk, and then fired it right in there.
Who was that from East Brunswick that tried to cut across and step in front of that ball, but it didn't work?
And
Another first.
once again, Mike DeRich, the Slickners.
They're saying first down, Woodbridge.
East Brunswick simply is not stopping Woodbridge.
First down from the 16. The Barons give it to Russo. Russo has the middle wide open and dives to the 5-yard line.
Broke 2 tackles.
Brian Russo, 5'11", 225 pounds at fullback there, and
First and goal for the Barons.
just an all-out fine effort.
And if you're Woodbridge, you got to be really pleased. This is your territory. 5 yards, 4 downs.
And 2 big backs. Woodbridge looking to increase their lead. Russo again powers ahead. He's down to the 1.
Quan was the one that made that tackle, but
Quan
not
made the
before
initial-
Russo got about 3
You're right.
yards.
Quan made the initial tackle, but this surge there picked up a few extra yards before Sermonello came up.
Second and goal for the Barons. Look for that I formation. Johnson and Russo, the 2 workhorses. Russo
Quan
looks
again.
like
Look at him
he's
bull
close.
his way. Look at him bull his way.
And they're saying he's short.
Russo being denied at the goal line.
It'll bring up 3rd and inches. You know, if I recall last year or 2 years ago, East Brunswick was stopped by a Woodbridge defense down here. Just about the same place.
Well,
So it's 3rd and inches.
They've given it to Russo 3 times here. You wonder if they're going to stick with him or this time change up and let Johnson. Johnson's lined up a little deeper than he normally is.
Russo again, he's got the score. Makes it 15-0 Woodbridge.
Crossing into the end zone. 49-yard scoring mark.
And Perry will come out for the extra point.
The key play, that 4th down conversion by quarterback Mike Slickner. It's now 15-0 Woodbridge. Andrew Perry to attempt the extra point.
I know we have 4:31 to go in this half, but quite frankly, I have not seen East Brunswick dominated like this all season long, not even Piscataway.
Power ball, and doing it on both sides of the line.
Perry puts a foot through, and it's good. So it's Woodbridge 16, East Brunswick nothing, with 4:31 before halftime.
Phil, you talked about East Brunswick and Woodbridge both having an outside shot at the state playoffs.
Very long shot, right?
Yeah, it really is. What's going to have to happen is that Old Bridge would have to be the team that loses tonight to J.P. Stevens. I just don't see that happening. The Hawks are
unlikely unless the whole team has the flu.
Right.
I'll tell you, the Woodbridge, the Bears coming here with 48 power points. Woodbridge comes with 41 power points, and it's a stretch no matter how you look at it. You're right. A Old Bridge team that is a superb team and playing, I'll tell you, just a J.P. Stevens team which is inferior. However, anything can happen on a given day. We mentioned J.P. Stevens has a young man by the name of Yearwood.
Michael Yearwood.
And, you know, with injuries and mistakes, turnovers, anything can happen.
Well, the other teams in that sectional is, as we get ready for the kickoff, is Piscataway, Middletown South holding the #1 spot, Piscataway #2, and I believe that it's Trenton that has the 3rd spot. All 3 of those teams are undefeated. And then finally you have West Windsor currently in the 4th position, but Old Bridge will overtake them tonight with a win. That'll drop West Windsor out of the one of the 4 slots. And then you have Woodbridge and East Brunswick following.
Perry kicked it out of bounds, so he'll re-kick it, and they'll move the ball back. East Brunswick playing that shift again with Whalen and Kilkenny moving up.
And East Brunswick clearly wanting to return, not taking that ball going out of bounds.
Well, East Brunswick needs something big to happen. They need to get back on track. They trail 16-0. They'll have 4.5 minutes to go before halftime to get on the board. Perry has been content to keep the ball on the ground. And now he drives one. Kolakowski will field it at the 12.
He's got a lane here.
Kolakowski trying to go outside on the left. And nice run.
It is a nice run.
As he crosses the 40 to about the 42, and that's where the Bears will have it on their own 42.
And it's, I think, about the best field position that they've had this game. Really haven't been able to do anything the entire. This is their 4th possession. The first one they failed to get a first down. The second one resulted in the safety, and then the third one was 3 and out.
Okay,
a lot of penalties.
Jim, to answer your question, that tackle there was made by Steve Bechtold. We have him as number 14 in the program, but he's number 4 here today, so he's been around.
Kilkenny brings him out, 1st and 10. Pitches out to Whalen. Whalen gets to the right side, and he'll pick up 3.
And that's it. Thought that was going to develop a couple more yards.
And Pete Grafeo coming up to make that tackle.
As well as Slickner.
Grafeo.
We have under 4 minutes to go, John, so East Brunswick cannot afford to get yards 4 or 5 at a clip. They're going to have to get a big play here.
2nd and 7. Whalen and Quan to the left slot, the left side. Kilkenny being pressured. Won't have much time to do anything.
Racked.
And Woodbridge is just storming through.
Really, the offensive line just needs to give Kilkenny a little bit more time.
And Kyle O'Haron, number 72, blowing in there with a number of would-be tacklers.
So East Brunswick, the loss will put the ball at their own 36. It'll be 3rd and 17.
Another one of those long third downs.
Kilkenny rolls to his right. Looks across, has Whalen. Whalen has no one in front of him to block, however, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, just got to like the pursuit by this Woodbridge team. I mean, everybody seems to go to the ball. You don't see one tackler around the Bears. They have several tacklers there.
So another 4th down.
I imagine they're going to punt.
Kilkenny remains in. He is their punter.
I don't think either team has used any timeouts, have they?
No.
So
Slickner and Johnson back for the Barons.
4th and 9.
Low snap. Kilkenny gets off a nice kick. Johnson will field it at the 28-yard line.
Ooh.
Drops his head and gets across the 35.
Whoops. A little extra hitting there, but
So the Barons, with a 16-point lead, go back on offense. They'll have 2 minutes and 4 seconds to work here in the second quarter.
Steve Gurman coming up to make that tackle.
Wish a very happy birthday tonight to Noreen Bexall, who was responsible for coordinating our senior night ceremony. Happy birthday, Noreen.
Clock starting, and now we have an officials timeout.
Officials timeout.
We got this my ball, your ball.
Yeah.
East Brunswick brings their own ball in, and the Barons have their own ball.
1st and 10 for Woodbridge. Russo on the carry, spins and carries and picks up about 5.
There's a flag thrown in there.
That's holding territory.
That's right.
Brian Russo.
And that'll go against Woodbridge.
Following the block of number 54.
The first flag for the Barons? Not quite sure.
No, they've had some procedure calls.
Right, okay.
And Joe Gerbenbach was there to make an offensive stop for East Brunswick.
And a penalty will move him back.
Barons are now looking at a 1st and 20, the new line of scrimmage, their own 25-yard line. Remember, we have time steadily approaching.
Okay, we'll see if the Barons are content just to plow it out and in the quarter, or will they come with a surprise?
They've already shown that they can throw the ball.
Slickner drops the ball.
Who's got it?
And this will be a break if East Brunswick can come up with it. And it looks like Woodbridge has recovered.
On the exchange, the center of the ball game.
If I was East Brunswick, they have 3 timeouts. I'd use them. Starting with this one right here.
Clock down to 1:05. And now a timeout, East Brunswick.
East Brunswick takes a timeout.
So the Bears, who trail by 16, will call a timeout, hoping they can hold Woodbridge here and get the ball back in fairly good field position.
And you see Nick Spadafino, the defensive coordinator, coming out there and just trying to prepare them to make sure that there are no surprises. Let them know they got to continue to play tough defense, but also be alert for
the pass.
For a potential surprise.
Sure. Well, Slickner has already shown.
Well, I'll tell you,
that
Bill
he
Nyers
can
has
connect with
said.
his
Bill
brother.
Nyers has great respect for Marcus Borden. Says he worked. Borden, as we know, is the director of the Snapple Bowl, and Nyers was a coach, offensive line coach in the Snapple Bowl. So they had a chance to work with each other, and he has great respect for him. But you better believe he'd like to beat him, very much so.
Good luck to those participants.
Well, Barons have the ball. It'll be 2nd and 20. They lead 16-0, and they certainly have the horses to grind it out for the rest of this
Well, this is not a grind-out situation, though. I think I don't think for one moment Woodbridge is not thinking score here. Really, I think there's no need to be conservative.
Slickner, pitch to Johnson. Tries to go around the left side and is dropped.
Another timeout.
I'll tell you, fine tackle there.
Matt Kwan on the tackle. Another timeout, East Brunswick. Clock stop with 58 seconds remaining.
And East Brunswick showing something there. You're right, Jim. They don't want to just go in and let things go. If they can have an opportunity to get their hands on the ball again, they like to do it before the half's out.
So we all get to stay here a little bit longer.
Jim, we mentioned Old Bridge, we mentioned Saraville, but East Brunswick will take on Old Bridge Thanksgiving Day.
That's right.
At home.
That's right.
11 a.m. This will be the first time that we've had a home contest at East Brunswick on Thanksgiving Day since when, Phil?
It hasn't happened before, has it?
Oh, yes, it has.
Well,
Colonia.
Oh, yeah.
What year was that?
1983. 1984.
That preceded me, I think.
No, well, it may have, but
Yes.
I remember East Brunswick was in the Central Jersey Group 4 championships and were upset
Steve
by
Hughes?
Colonia on Thanksgiving Day. No, Steve Hughes had graduated.
Okay.
We're talking about Mark Rodelbron.
Rollerball.
3rd and 22. The draw play with Johnson. And it appears Woodbridge is content to run it out.
And the Bears call timeout again.
They use up all their timeouts, so they'll have the ball back on the punt, but they'll do it without any timeouts.
Well, I think they're going to be trying to go for the block here. Sermonello has been almost blocked the punt the last time. Let's keep an eye on him, number 44.
And East Brunswick will put Kilkenny and Whalen back.
I'll tell you, I'm looking at the stands here. This Woodbridge program here is walking around with hot dogs. Yeah, you don't see that in high school too often.
That's
They
true.
have hot dogs, hamburgers,
Popcorn.
soda.
They're
popcorn.
walking through the stands here.
Absolutely.
Okay, can't wait to
They got it
halftime.
well organized. If we ever get to halftime.
Okay.
All right, it looks like East Brunswick's going to be coming at
They
him.
got everybody but the kitchen sink and Kilkenny up there.
Single back here.
Slickner will do the punting. High snap. He does get it off. Nice kick. Kilkenny will
Oh,
field it.
no! Oh, no, they're calling roughing the kicker.
Little incidental
Oh,
contact.
Come on.
Against Sermonello, I believe.
That is bad as last
Phil,
week.
That's the difference between a high school official and a college and pro.
That's ugly right there.
You really, they don't do this on a regular basis. And, well, there you go.
That's unbelievable.
And I believe it's an automatic first
That's
down.
unbelievable.
It is roughing the kicker against East Brunswick with 42 seconds. Woodbridge will have the ball back and a first down.
Well, Marcus Borton is incensed.
Well, and I don't blame him on that. And we mentioned it the other week when they were playing Edison, the crew there that called this sort of a touchy, and this one was even less than that. The kicker did a fine acting job, but the officials got to use something. It's got to use proper discretion. That's all.
Well, the ball will be placed on the Woodbridge 40-yard line.
Let's see. Do they flip it over to a first down? Yes, they
It
do.
will be first down. 1st and 10, 42 seconds.
And the clock will run now, so
And East Brunswick has no timeouts remaining.
The clock will run down, and now you're right. The Barons really have nothing to lose.
They put 2 receivers wide to the right. Slickner is going to put it in the air.
there's Kwan coming after him.
Oh, yes.
And they're going to call it a
What?
fumble.
Are they?
No signal yet. East Brunswick
He can
picks
pick
it up.
That's
Sermonello.
Sermonello.
Johnson knocks him out of
Get out
bounds.
of bounds, please.
13
mercy,
seconds.
mercy, mercy.
And what a turn of events.
Well, first question they asked, was that a forward pass or a fumble?
They're not.
Because it looked like he had passed the ball.
First,
apparently
referee
it's a
is saying
fumble.
first down, East Brunswick.
The Woodbridge fans are saying forward pass, and some of the players are saying it, but the officials haven't said it. Therefore, it's in a fumble.
And Naylor is very, very upset. He thought it was a pass.
Well, I'll tell you, it's sort of poetic justice when you get right down to it. A very bad call, a very bad call for the roughing the kicker.
Right, it evened
And
out there.
It sort of evens out.
So the ball's where on the
25-yard line.
They're
East
gonna-
Brunswick will have 13 seconds to try to punch it in. Kolakowski wide right.
And they're going
Wolf
to the air, no
left.
doubt about it.
Gotta go.
Kilkenny rolls left, being pressured, throws it up in the air for Kolakowski.
Oh!
Both players slip.
Well, Kolakowski put his arm out and tackled.
No, what happened? Their feet got caught up there, and if you're a Woodbridge fan, you're going to say it's offensive interference. If you're an East Brunswick fan, you're going to say no harm, no foul.
What we're going to say is incomplete pass, and it's second down with 6 seconds remaining.
No. You know, that ball was not thrown to the end zone, by the way.
Well, the thing, first of all, he had pressure on him, threw it off on the back foot, and just got the ball up there, hoping somebody would go up and get it.
Well, I think in this situation, you just got to put it up in the air, but make sure it reaches the end zone. So if it's caught, it falls in for a touchdown.
Same formation, 6 seconds remaining. Kilkenny rolls left, then looks back to his right.
He's down, the intentional grounding.
Yeah.
But it may be a smart move on his. At least he gets the, well,
No,
if the clock's run out, it doesn't make any difference.
And that was number 19 for Woodbridge, Phil.
And that's the Flimmeister.
Yep,
They're going to say intentional grounding. It's a question of
that'll end the
how
half.
much, was there any time left on the clock.
That ends the half.
Ends the half, okay.
That'll be at halftime. So finally, we've come to halftime. Woodbridge on top, 16-0.
Well, it was a really dominating half of football played by these Barons. We saw it when they came out to this field. They were really pumped up. East Brunswick seemed to be walking out. I don't know if that had anything to do with the play on the field, but a really dominating half by the Woodbridge. They used their size well. East Brunswick really couldn't get anything going. They had to rely on that break to even have a shot at a touchdown.
All right, we'll be back with start of third period action in just a moment. Well, we welcome you back to the start of the third quarter. East Brunswick, Woodbridge. Our score is 16-0. Woodbridge on top, and they really have dominated this game, Jim.
But the fact remains, though, John, that 16 points represents 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. So it's not an insurmountable lead, nonetheless. But East Brunswick is going to have to definitely do something a little bit differently. That offensive line for Woodbridge really pushed out, and then Kilkenny really didn't have a lot of time to pass when he attempted to.
East Brunswick will receive to start the second half. Kilkenny and Quan are back deep. They've been shuffling around trying to figure out what Perry is going to do on these kickoffs.
And I'll tell you, the Bears have to come out and establish something right away. If not, it can be a long afternoon.
Especially when the game's played at night. Okay, here we
Perry,
go. Oh,
that ball's
he's
dead
down.
right there. That ball's dead right there. And East Brunswick starts off from their own 32-yard line.
Okay, well, let's see what we got here. So Kilkenny, obviously, the deep back on the kickoff will remain in as quarterback. Seems healthy enough.
First down for the Bears.
Okay, Ed Molina down in that ball, and here go the Bears.
Down by 16, Kilkenny at quarterback. Whalen in motion. A little counter with Quan, and he falls forward for maybe a yard or two.
Very few positive yards for East Brunswick this evening. A lot of penalties. And they really need to establish something, get something going.
Jim, you're right. And, the fact of the matter, this Woodbridge team, and I tell you, they look as physical as any team I've seen this year, and quite frankly, just pushing the Bears around, and the Bears have to do something so as to break that hole.
2nd and 9. Kilkenny pitches back to Whalen, ball's on the ground, and Whalen did a nice job to recover it.
Whalen took a good whack. It's been a problem all year, that pitch. Kilkenny to Whalen, numerous times. They've just not been able to get a handle. It was actually fatal in the Piscataway game.
And East Brunswick moving back again.
Yeah.
3rd and about 13.
Another 3rd and long situation.
Temperature dropping just a bit. The field a little slick. We saw some of that in the first half. Kilkenny fakes, rolls to his left, now rolls back right, being pressured. Still on his feet, gets away from 2 tacklers, looking for his man. Away by
mercy.
Meggiolaro.
Good play by Slickner.
I'll tell you. Good play by Schleckner, but after it popped off Kolakowski's hand, you had Matt Kwan in the area there. You thought it was going to pop up, and he was going to grab it. Good. Kilkenny doing a very good job just to get away.
I thought he was going to tuck it in and run it, Phil.
Well, he had a man open for a split second there, tried to get it in, and you saw what happened. But again, it could have been a lot more disastrous if he were tackled for about a 20-yard loss.
4th down. Kilkenny will do the punting as well.
I don't believe East Brunswick has a first down in this game.
Good snap. Kilkenny with a good kick. This is going to be Schleckner. He'll roll to his right, steps up. Still on his feet as he gets close to midfield. And Woodbridge will have excellent field position once again.
As they have all game. So this East Brunswick defense will be put to the test now. East Brunswick unsuccessful on its first offensive thrust. I see Kilkenny walking to the sideline a little gingerly. Probably a little disgusted about not being able to convert on that 3rd down.
1st and 10 for Woodbridge, just shy of the 50-yard line. They lead 16-0. And this is going to be Johnson. He falls forward for 2 yards.
Feigenwinter was held his position at nose guard, was able to trip up Johnson.
He's played a fine game today.
Yeah, he has.
I tell you, been in on a lot of tackles.
Phil, you may just run the ball and let your defense do their thing.
Well, but if at halftime, as I usually go around, I heard some of the Woodbridge fans questioning why Nyers would put that ball up there, would try to put the ball up with about 16 seconds left. And so he may be smarting from that and just decide we got the horses and let's control the clock and grind it at them.
2nd and a long 8 for Woodbridge, just across midfield. Schleckner pitches back to Johnson. Johnson turns the corner, still on his feet, ridden out of bounds, shy of the 1st down.
But a lot of yards nonetheless.
Getting to the outside, sweeping the end on that cross on the option play.
So it'll bring up 3rd and let's call it about 2.
Coming up about 2 yards short.
Ball at the East Brunswick 42-yard line.
I'll tell you this much about Woodbridge's offense. You remember in years past, they used to be so predictable. Now with Schleckner running the show and on this option, much more versatile team.
Schleckner's a little slick under controls there.
Russo right up the middle, 1st down.
Boy, he's tough to bring down.
He is tough to bring down. And once again, Jim Kolakowski coming up to make the tackle there.
Kolakowski is going to sue for lack of support here.
Once again, Jimmy Kolakowski saved a big play.
1st down for Woodbridge as they control the ball and the clock.
Oops.
A little.
Moved. And they didn't.
And a flag now comes down. We'll have some kind of procedure, obviously.
Everybody was moving inside. I think the center was the one that had the snap, the count wrong.
And Barron's a little too eager.
And it'll move Woodbridge back 5 yards.
Legal procedure penalty being marked off against Woodbridge, 1st and 15.
And if you're the Bears, what you're looking for is somebody to make a play, come up with a big play here, whether it's shooting the gap and coming up with a big tackle, creating a turnover. You need something sort of to turn the tide here.
1st and 15, ball at the East Brunswick 42. Schleckner drops back, pumps. He's got some time. Ooh. He's hit as he gets rid of it. His brother catches it, however.
Wow, tremendous play.
Wow.
Schleckner's still down.
Schleckner's down. I tell you, he got racked.
Mike Schleckner down the far sideline.
The Schleckner brothers team up for a 1st down deep into East Brunswick territory.
How did he complete that? I thought that Kwan hit him sooner than he released the ball.
I don't know how he completed it. I'm wondering how he got up.
Well, he's still smarting from that.
19-yard line, 1st and 10 Barons.
Ball will be 1st down at the East Brunswick 19.
Kevin Wolf, number 81, defending on the play.
And you know, if Kilkenny was in on that side there and that ball's hanging up like that, he's gone.
Schleckner to Russo. Russo, big hole left side, inside the 15.
Phil, it seems that Woodbridge is always able to get past that line of scrimmage.
Well, again, they got the big horses up front. They're very physical, very strong. They have been dominating. They've been pushing it at the Bears. And when you got the big backs like Russo and Johnson, you just can keep on pounding at you.
2nd and 5 from the 14. There's Russo again. Russo inside the 10.
Boy, I think he's got another first down.
It's
close.
Slashing his way near the first down marker.
Whalen and Gerbervac coming up to make the tackle, but not till Russo's picked up some good yardage there.
And we have a timeout.
There's a timeout for measurement.
Looks like they're going to take a look at it. Nevertheless,
And East Brunswick has, one official said East Brunswick called a timeout.
we will see.
Well, Nyers is out on the
Yeah,
field.
there is a timeout. So is
So it's first down
Bonafino.
Woodbridge and timeout East Brunswick. With 7:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, our score is 16-0. Woodbridge on top, and they're moving the ball. They'll have it 1st and 10 from, actually 1st and goal. Ball's inside the 10-yard line.
And I tell you what Bill Nyers has done with this team here. He's really creating an offense to go with the type of talent he has. And they play within themselves. They will keep that ball on the ground, keep pounding at you. Every now and then come up with the pass here and there, but they just want to control you at the point of impact and take whatever you give them.
So East Brunswick will use one of their 3 timeouts.
Well, timeouts are valuable. I wonder if they're going to need that towards the end of the game. We'll see.
1st and goal, the Barons come out. They have the lead, 16-0. They send a receiver wide left. Slickner gives to Russo on a quick handoff.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Russo into the, bound down to the 4 rather, inside the 5.
Ramming his way forward across the 5.
This drive has been the Brian Russo show almost exclusively. Johnson,
I'll tell you, they don't
couple
mind.
of handoffs.
I'll tell you, really, Russo is the workhorse here.
From the East Brunswick 4-yard line.
2nd down from the 4.
And you would think they would switch up, but don't be surprised to see Russo again.
Johnson plows ahead.
He's in.
Touchdown Woodbridge. From the 4.
There's not much you can say about that, Phil. This is just textbook football.
It's called Powerball.
Woodbridge 22. East Brunswick
Perry will come out and try to obtain the 23rd point of this game.
And Perry has been excellent on the point afters tonight.
And he booms it through. And they're saying no good. What's the no good?
No.
These officials are a little slow.
Score remains 22-0 back.
So it's 22-0 Woodbridge.
See, I did that on purpose to
You jinxed the kid.
yes, I really wanted to do that. 22-0.
Well, Phil, one thing we've talked about in the past in covering this East Brunswick team is that the E-Bone offense is not a catch-up offense.
Well, there's some things you can do off it to catch up, and it's just that they've been under terrible pressure. No matter what Kilkenny has tried to do, whether he's tried to pitch, they've been on him. If he goes back to pass, he's got terrible pressure on him. It's just a matter of fact of the Barons defense being everywhere.
So East Brunswick will receive.
As they have for what, the 5th time tonight here?
Quan and Kilkenny back deep.
And a rather deflated East Brunswick sideline. They have had no success tonight.
Back deep for East Brunswick, David Kilkenny and Matt Quan.
This is sort of the way it was with Bishop Bar, Phil. They just really couldn't get anything going.
The thing about it is, it's just, seems like when we do a game, it's not representative of what the Bears have been about. They played an excellent game against Cedarville, an inspired game, and then come here and you get this.
Well, they've already guaranteed themselves a winning season with the 5 wins.
Gehrman with the ball, and Gehrman gives East Brunswick one of its best starts of the night as he gets up across the 40 to about the 42.
Brings it up to the 43-yard line.
And again, I go back to the problem. Kilkenny has been rolling out, and usually you roll out when you want to get away from the pressure, but he's been getting pressure all over. So when he rolls out inadvertently, he has somebody right on him anyway, pressuring him. So you got to wonder, will the drop back do any better? You got to believe the Bears are going to do some things differently, and certainly probably put the ball up a little bit.
1st and 10. East Brunswick's down 22-0. 6 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter.
They need a first down.
Quan carries for, I think, the first time tonight and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Quan, first back through. Stopped immediately by number 73.
That won't get it done for you.
Coming down the line, inside tackle, Mark Patrick. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
So, a couple of new entries. Hops has come in, but not at quarterback, though.
Well, you watch out for the halfback pass then.
Yeah, right. That's a possibility, especially with Kolakowski here on the wide side. But he is being played deep.
Hops has it, almost drops it, and loses
Absolutely
yardage.
Nothing.
Well, the thing about it is they're not running on this Barron team here.
Scott Hops on the handoff, loss on the play, tackle in the backfield.
So East Brunswick, nowhere to go. We'll find a 3rd and 11 facing them. Clock down to 5 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. 22-0 is our score. Woodbridge on top. Kilkenny rolls to his left.
The rollout.
Looks to throw back across the field. He does, and I think it's intercepted by Meggiolaro.
Sure it is. Right. Problem with the rollout on that situation is Kilkenny puts himself in a position where he can't release the ball
Well, you can't
with
set
the
up.
same velocity that he
Well,
wants.
you can't set up. You can't. With you're rolling out, you got the pressure there. You're off balance. You're throwing it with nothing but arm and hoping to come up with something. And more times than not, you're not.
So with the interception, Woodbridge will take over again.
So another effort comes up with not even a first down.
Slickner keeps, steps up, and he'll pick up 2 yards. Pays the price for it as he gets close to the Woodbridge 40-yard line.
Puts his head down to gain.
2nd and about 7.
Called 2 yards, just short of the 40, 2nd and 8. Rich Whalen teaming up with
As we mentioned before this Thanksgiving, East Brunswick will be home playing Old Bridge. That's an 11 o'clock start. Great way to start off your Thanksgiving.
Now, East Brunswick already had its homecoming, but I guess that would be the unofficial homecoming, would it not?
Johnson loses the ball.
Looks like he lost it.
And the Bears have it.
We'll see. Obviously, East Brunswick's pointing that they have it.
I don't think Johnson ever had a handle on that ball.
And it is East Brunswick's ball, so maybe, Phil, here's the break they need to get that engine revved.
So who comes up with it?
Well, the officials already declared it's
All right, who is that? Hops?
Hops.
Scott Hops.
Okay.
Scott Hops coming up with an important turnover here. And now the Bears have to just capitalize on it. Got to get something here.
Scott Hops pounced on it for East Brunswick.
Yeah, Johnson's motioning to his coach. He says, I never really had the ball in my grasp.
Well, East Brunswick's in Woodbridge territory at the 40, 1st and 10. They have 3:20 remaining in this quarter. Whalen comes in motion. Kilkenny looks, rolls again to his left.
Caught.
And he's going to be dragged down for a major loss.
I'll tell you, it's just got to be frustrating. Again, terrible pressure there. And Sadu, you hear the fans going, Sadu. So Sadu Flimmeister again, number 19. Once again, the defensive end blowing in there. And the Bears just have had no breathing room. Anytime Kilkenny goes back, he's got a host of tacklers on him.
I would have to believe that East Brunswick offensive totals show negative yardage right now.
Well,
They have just been going backwards all
Jimmy,
evening.
I'll echo what you're saying. He's a right-handed quarterback, rolling left every time out of the pocket. Woodbridge has seen it like all of us
let's
have.
face it, it doesn't make any difference. The fact of the matter is he's getting pressured no matter where he goes. The guy's coming in on every side.
Yeah,
Sermonello on the pitch,
but they close in on him.
and he'll pick up a couple, but
Number 44,
East Brunswick really having little success, but not able to do too much. We don't, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Phil. There's really not a lot that
Not a
David
lot you can do. You got people like Mike Emery, the young fellow, number 78, that just made the tackle there.
Yeah.
These guys are excited. They're playing a very aggressive game, and if he's not doing it, somebody else is doing it.
In that situation, though, would it not be better for him to simply get rid of the ball sooner? I'm putting it down to basics here. Instead of the rollout, just get rid of the ball. Send Wolf on a flare.
3rd and 17. Kilkenny again to his left, pitches out to Quan. Quan will go nowhere.
And Jimmy, that's what I'm talking about. You got 4 tacklers there. I'm talking about the pursuit.
Right.
This is an excellent defense here.
They are playing outstanding. This is really the most dominating team that East Brunswick has played this year. I can't see how they lost to Piscataway, really.
So another 4th down for the Bears, unable to take advantage of the opportunity of the fumble recovery. And they'll give it back up to Woodbridge.
Let's see if Kenny will take off on this right side here.
Yeah, I think that's really look at all the room he has.
Quite honestly, what do you have to lose? But he will punt it. Nice punt. Slickner will let it bounce and go out of bounds.
Excellent kick.
Kilkenny's punt rolls out of bounds. Woodbridge will put it in play, 1st and 10.
Well, we have 51 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. 22-0 is our score. Woodbridge on top.
And really the only time that Woodbridge has been stopped is on both times they turned the ball over. Once on an interception, on a fumble, and then on another fumble. Every time else, they've scored.
Johnson and Russo remain in the backfield with Slickner. And this is Russo, straight ahead.
Russo up the middle. Into the center of the East Brunswick defensive interior.
And I imagine the Barons will be quite content to just hand the ball off to one of those big backs, Russo or Johnson, use the clock.
And let their defense do the rest.
Let's see, 29 seconds, so they're going to have to.
This will be the last play of the quarter.
Unless they throw.
Slickner pitches to Johnson, left side. Johnson looking for a hole. Quan brings him down. And that should be it for the 3rd quarter.
Oh, Telsky stuck his head in.
He stuck his head. I tell you, Johnson's a fine back if he has more than 900 yards, but he's about as off balance with his running as I've seen.
So at the end of 3 here at Prisco Stadium, it's Woodbridge 22, East Brunswick nothing.
And Sermonello bending over. Wonder if it's from fatigue more than anything else. He's played both ways the entire game. Kilkenny is back in there at defensive back. Should make note of that. And if you're the East Brunswick coaches, just tell them to suck it up. You're playing for pride right now. It would do the Bears well to deny Woodbridge from scoring this drive.
Well, both teams came in with 5-2 records. Phil and Jimmy, you both alluded to the fact that there was a very, very slim but outside chance that both these teams could qualify. Woodbridge seemed to come out as the team more energized about that host situation.
I'll tell you though, and we say it's a slight chance. Woodbridge was in a similar situation 2 years ago. They were playing, or was it 3? It was 2 years ago. They were playing East Brunswick at East Brunswick, and were just able to get out of there with a win. As a matter of fact, East Brunswick had them on the ropes. Woodbridge gets into the playoffs, all right, goes on to upset Saraville, and then they go on to win the Central Jersey Group 4 title by beating Trenton. So I guess nothing's impossible.
That's for sure.
So we'll start the fourth quarter. East Brunswick starting on defense. 3rd and 5 is what we have, or what Woodbridge has. Slickner drops back, looks to his left, puts it up for his brother. Again, they connect.
Wow. That's a great combination right there.
It's a nice combination, and they don't use it a whole lot because they don't have to use it a whole lot. But
first down, Woodbridge.
But clearly, if you wanted to, it is a nice connection. And what better connection timing-wise, who are you going to practice with your brother? You're going to have it down. These guys, I'm sure, over the summer work very hard together.
1st and 10, Woodbridge at their own 46-yard line. Johnson gets back to the line. It'll bring up, he picks up 1, they say, so we'll call it 2nd and 9.
And don't think that this offensive thrust by Woodbridge the entire game hasn't gotten this East Brunswick defense very tired.
Well, quite honestly, they've been on the field a long time this evening. You're right, Jim, I don't think the offense has picked up a first down. Slickner looks for his brother once again, now decides to run.
Ooh,
Racked that time.
He's racked. You got Quan there and
a flag.
Now, what's this all
it's
about?
unsportsmanlike, undoubtedly.
Yep, well, they're backing the Woodbridge player off, so let's see what we're going to have. Well, they're pointing to East Brunswick. Yes.
Unsportsmanlike against the Bears. We could not see it.
Must have said or did something to a Woodbridge player because he tried to retaliate and his teammates backed him off. Another first down.
And Marcus Borden is having just a heated discussion with the referee, and they're each pointing a finger at one another. That won't help matters.
And the official went right back at Borden at that time, I noticed.
When it's all said and done, it's going to be a first down for Woodbridge at the East Brunswick 38-yard line. Clock down to 10:35 left in the game. And we have an offside, Woodbridge. Place will continue. Intercepted by Whalen. He's got the left side if he can get out to it.
Well, they're looking for the angle. Wow, boy, who was that?
I'll tell you, nice tackle.
The lineman came across.
He really did a great job of cutting that angle down. All right,
Flag is down, we believe, and another flag, I think, is down.
That's Mike D'Alesso came up with that tackle there.
It's going to take a while to sort this out. So let's see if East Brunswick, if that first flag was against Woodbridge, East Brunswick would get possession.
It was procedure, I believe, against Woodbridge.
And East Brunswick gets the ball.
Right, but will they have to back off now if they've had a penalty called against them?
It is a procedure against Woodbridge. That's declined. A dead ball personal foul against Woodbridge will be taken first down.
I think that was the coach. I think that might have been Nyers walking on the field there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, really.
Well, both coaches getting in the middle of the action here.
A little feisty here. Nyers still on the field.
Right. So 39-yard line.
That's where it is, where East Brunswick will have it, 1st and 10. Kilkenny throws it outside to Kolakowski.
Oh, he could go all the way. And he does. All right. Well, we should really should be cheering.
Keep going, Phil. You got more to do here.
And he does. And if you're an East Brunswick Bear fan, you got to feel pretty good because you're not shut out. You're on the board there.
You get a shutout. You don't think that's important? Really, it is.
Well, Jimmy, there's your just get rid of the ball play.
Absolutely.
And
they're
going for the 2, gentlemen, I believe.
Yeah, they should. I think that's Kolakowski's first touchdown this year.
I believe you might be right.
Bears will try the 2. A little shovel pass to Hops. He's in.
I tell you, the Bears being a little innovative here. Innovative.
That really, it was almost like a lateral.
Yeah, it was
Well, they
boring.
came up with 2 plays that we haven't seen. First of all, the touchdown pass to Kolakowski. Jim, you were saying, why don't they do something quicker, a quick step and so forth? That's what they did. Shot it out to Kolakowski. He put on a fake on the would-be tackler and
used his speed
and took it in. And then just the shuffle pads here to Scott Hops to pick up the 2-point conversion, and the Bears have 8 points. And the score is only 22-8 with
2 touchdowns.
More than 10 minutes to go.
By the way, that touchdown was also East Brunswick's first down of the game. So we should make mention of that.
Telling.
Kicking off to the Bears, number 51, Chris Bennett.
Would a onside kick do anything here?
I don't think you're going to see an onside kick right here, Jim. They're going to boot it away and hope to hold them and take the ball. They got more than 10 minutes left. Even though they're lining up for an onside kick.
Bettis has the ball on the ground, basically. It's just being propped up by the T.
Woodbridge is not ready for it.
And they grab it, though.
Good play.
Surprise, I'll tell you.
I didn't see. I was thinking that maybe they might have their offensive players up there, but.
So Woodbridge will have the ball just shy of the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. 10-17 remaining in the game. Bears finally get on the board to make it 22-8.
Clock is stopped here. Well, you can't imagine that they're going to be throwing too much.
Really no need to.
But this is an opportunity for the defense to come up.
Slickner gives it to Russo. Russo bangs ahead for about 3 yards.
Not much that time.
Not much, and to tell you the truth, that's the way they've been playing. I mean, the Bears defense really hasn't played that badly. Just that the offense hasn't balanced it out. When you're on the field a whole lot and you got those horses coming at you like that, something has to give sooner or later.
2nd and 7 for the Barons. This is where that running game can really do damage in terms of the clock. Russo spins, twists, and picks up maybe a yard.
Well, Gerbovac was able to get an arm on Johnson, or was it Russo?
That's what you call a whirling dervish.
Once again, Brian Russo leading Woodbridge with a 3rd and a long 5.
3rd down, 3rd and 6.
And if there is a big play in this game, this is it.
Ball at the East Brunswick 47-yard line.
Bears really need to stop him here.
I think you might look for Johnson on a counter.
Slickner looks to throw. He's going to get hit.
Racked.
Right, Fingenwinter got in there.
I'll tell you,
Came right through.
Fingenwinter's played a super game this afternoon. Super game. Has been in on a lot of tackles, a lot of hard hits there, and blowing through there to stop Slickner.
4th down, Woodbridge. Barons will punt.
Okay, the Bears did what they had to do, gentlemen. What they had to do was to stop them on this series after scoring, and the Bears have done it.
4th down.
241. That's 499, 241. The winning amount is $156.
You wonder if they're
will.
going to try to kick the ball away from Kilkenny or Wayland.
Slickner to punt. Gets off a great kick.
But they're going to get a run back.
Whalen inside the 10. Steps up. Nowhere to go there.
I'll tell you what, if he was able to get through that wave, he would have had some real daylight.
But East Brunswick back in their own territory. They'll have 8 minutes and 18 seconds to work with.
Excellent downfield coverage by the Barons. Brunswick will put it in play. 1st down from their own 8-yard line.
And let's see if the Bears come back with sort of the quick hits, the things that don't take a lot of time to develop, Jim.
And that's precisely where they're going to need to.
Ball resting at
Need
the
to
East
go to.
Brunswick 13.
Well, you think Woodbridge will be playing with a little bit of a cushion here too, so that should open up things for the Bears.
Kilkenny looking, drops back, directing traffic, puts it out for Kolakowski. He's got it!
Yes!
He's got it and stayed in bounds.
I'll tell you, just a fine catch. Fine pass. Kilkenny going back as if he was going to pitch it out and whatnot.
Right.
Stepped back and just put it up there. And Kolakowski ran under it with nice soft hands there. And they're at midfield, gentlemen.
They're past midfield. They're in the Woodbridge territory at about the 46-yard line.
A couple more of those, and things are going to get real interesting.
1st and 10, East Brunswick. And ball's on the ground.
What happened there?
Let's see what the
I'll
call
say
is here.
second, East Brunswick's recovered.
Okay, it's just a bad exchange there.
I don't think Kilkenny was expecting to snap.
I tell you, the Bears fortunate to get it back.
Really, the center was expecting one count, quarterback was expecting the other. Clock is moving.
2nd and 11. 7:20 left in the game. Bears down 22-8. Kilkenny, short drop, looks left, still looking.
He's got room here to run.
He's gonna go to put it up, he does.
Oh.
Looking downfield to Wolf, intercept.
Oh!
It
he
is
caught
intercepted
it.
by
What an
Schlichter.
What a catch!
Now, are they calling it a
What
catch?
a catch!
Officials looking for
No,
to the other referee.
He caught it, Jim.
I know, but the official's not quite sure he caught it. Yes, I know he did, but I didn't think he saw it.
Mercy.
That was a great play.
I'll just tell you, just a fine defensive effort there. And the thing about it, Jim, you were about to call it. Kilkenny rolled out to the left there. You're right, did have some running room to pick it up there and put up a pass there, but the defender just...
I'll tell you what, Kilkenny was also very close to going over the line of
You're
scrimmage.
right about that. Rich Schlichter coming up with the interception.
So Woodbridge gets it back on the interception, 1st and 10
Boy, the Slickers have been
from
really
their own
important to this
10-yard
game
line.
tonight.
Russo
Ooh, he's
falls down.
He's down.
He's been a horse tonight.
And Bettis, I believe, making the first hit there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was an important interception.
Important interception there, and you're right. Did appear Kilkenny may have almost went over the line of scrimmage there, but clearly had a little bit of room to run on the left side here. Decided to put it up, and the defender just made an exceptional defensive play.
2nd and 10, clock running, 6:10 remaining. Bears trailing 22-8. Woodbridge gaining possession on the interception. Johnson from the eye. Not much room.
And this second half on the defensively on the ground, the Bears have been tough.
Yeah, they have. They've done a nice job, especially Fekenwinter. He has really come up big.
3rd and 9, pickup of 1 by Johnson. Clock continues to run. That's obviously to Woodbridge's advantage.
Schlichter comes in and Schlichter comes out.
Schlichter rolls, keeps, looks for a hole, finds it.
Ooh.
Just short of the first down.
Schlichter on the quarterback option comes up a little short.
And Bettis trying to strip him of the ball after he's down.
He's lucky he didn't get a roughing.
Looks like the Bears are going to get another opportunity.
4th and 1.
And again, once again, defensively, the Bears
And they're
doing
going
a
to punt it
fine
away.
job this half.
So Woodbridge will punt it over to East Brunswick. Clock continues to move down, 4:40. Kilkenny will go back as the sole return man. High snap, Slickner gets it off. Again, a good kick. Kilkenny will let it roll, and it'll go down.
Get away from it if you're going to let it roll.
And the ball will come to rest at the 24-yard line of East Brunswick.
Kilkenny's letting it go, but he's also running up to the ball there.
Well,
we've seen strange things happen. You don't want it to, certainly don't want it to inadvertently touch you.
That was an outstanding kick. Outstanding kick.
Phil, that's why I think with the clock running like that, you need 2 men back there so you don't have that ball get by you.
I think they had the extra man up. They wanted to make sure that the Woodbridge would not be cute and just try to pick up that 1 yard. Short snap to the short back or something like that. So they only had Kilkenny back there, but it was a fine kick and rolled.
Less than 4 minutes now remaining in the game. East Brunswick down 22-8. Kilkenny rolls to his right, looks, still looking for someone. Has some room on the left side here.
Ooh,
Good
dropped.
tackle.
Textbook tackle. Nick Riley. Nick Riley coming up to make the tackle, number 34, and open field tackling. That's just the way you want it done.
I'll tell you what, very few people have been able to do an open field tackle on Kilkenny. I wonder if that ankle limits his ability to cut.
When you square up and
Pick up of 7.
hit him the way you're supposed to.
Second down. Kilkenny looking for someone. He's got his man in the middle, Hops. First down, East Brunswick.
Okay, and a nice throw by Kilkenny, again under pressure.
East Brunswick has 2 timeouts remaining as the clock shows 3:11. 1 timeout was used early on in the start of the half.
And I tell you, you gotta like the feistiness of these Bears here. They're clawing all the way.
Kilkenny looking to his left, being pressured.
Whoa.
Throws it down for Hops. Hops
Wow.
got it.
Mercy.
How did he get that off?
How did he get it off, really, with as much as he had on the ball?
That was almost like an underhand pass.
I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Somebody's
and Hops made the
down.
reception.
Somebody's down for Woodbridge. That's going to have to stop the clock there. Now, if East Brunswick, they should be getting a couple of plays in here now to take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay, we do have a Barron Woodbridge player down. Can't pick up his number there. Okay, we'll check it out in a minute. But again, once again, Kilkenny with just a masterful job in just getting the ball off and somehow finding Hops open in the middle there.
East Brunswick will have it 1st and 10 on the Woodbridge 30. There will be 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining on the clock.
Okay, that might be Nick Riley that's laying down there. Nick Riley, who just made the fine open field tackle, number 34. Let's see.
See, yeah, he's a little woozy.
No, it's not. It's number.
Is that Slickner?
Magyar.
Number who is it?
Magyar, Jerry Magnar.
Number-
Magyar.
Number 9. Okay.
And he is holding
Holding
his
that
right
shoulder.
arm. Okay, now they will start the clock, so East Brunswick should be up to the line. They have a couple of plays called.
Well, they don't want to call him yet.
First down, Bears.
The officials that.
Kilkenny, again, just puts it down, looking for
Wow!
Good play there.
Kolakowski.
Almost had it.
Slickner.
And once again, Rick Slickner coming up with a grand defensive play. Slickner, of course, was the one coming up with the big interception, stopping the drive by the Bears, and he comes up with another big play here. Kilkenny again, once again, miraculously, somehow getting the ball off.
Now, they have 4th down.
No,
I
2nd
was
and
going
10.
to say.
2nd and 10. 2:52 showing on the clock.
Right up to the line on this.
A blitz is coming. Kilkenny gets it off. Wolf has it. Wolf's trying to get out of bounds, and he does.
Smart move.
Yeah, really.
At the 21-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd down.
And Kevin Wolf with a smart move there, fighting to get out of bounds. Kevin Wolf, the leading touchdown receiver for the Bear team, has 3 touchdowns this year, and just came up with a very bright move to stop the clock.
3rd and a long 2.
Well, East Brunswick finally has this defense spread out.
Kilkenny short drop looks, rolls to his right. He's got some time, looking, throws it again down for Quan. Quan can't get to it.
Mercy. I'll tell you, dangerous.
And Slickner almost did.
And Slickner almost did once again.
So this is 4th down now. 4th and about 3. They have to worry about picking up the first down.
And wherever that ball is, Slickner is Rich Slickner.
Well, this is, has turned out to be a fairly interesting 4th quarter.
It's turned out to be an exciting 4th quarter. The Bears making some things happening, trying some different things.
All right, what do you do here, Phil? You need 3 yards. Go for it all still?
Quick pass outside,
Oh,
short.
mercy.
Short,
Mercy,
and that'll be
mercy.
it. Balled over to Woodbridge.
Tried to hit him with the quick pass there. Got the pass off too soon. I think what happened.
Miscommunication.
No, I think what happened there is he intended to hit him and saw the guy breaking in there and sort of trying to pull back and throw it at the same time, and end up underthrowing him rather than throwing the interception.
What we used to call short arming it.
Short arming it.
Okay.
So Woodbridge will have 2:35 to try to kill on the clock to secure this victory. East Brunswick obviously will look for the turnover, try to force the turnover.
Well, Borden is talking to Kevin Wolf on the sideline, so there looks like he was supposed to turn around. Wolf kept on going.
And Russo, who has been a workhorse this evening, looks like he might have the first down.
Bursting his way across the 30.
Got Bettis Willen.
Tackled by Rich Whalen, number 7. Ball being spotted close to the first down marker. Official timeout for measurement.
And gentlemen, I want to reiterate, the thing about it is the game today is not indicative of the type of team the Bears have been this season. The games that they have lost have been some very close games.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the first game, I think, where they've been dominated the way that they have been dominated. So we've seen some fine performances, and we're hoping that they can turn it around and
well, they would like to finish off on
beat
a winning
upon
note.
Woodbridge, really.
And Old Bridge most likely, I would say, is going to be in the playoffs. So coming into that Thanksgiving Day game, they will have played the previous Saturday, much the same way East Brunswick had that situation last year.
That's right.
So it'll be first down for Woodbridge, 2:18 remaining in the game. I still believe East Brunswick has 2 timeouts remaining. Russo and Johnson remain in the backfield. That has not changed all evening. And Russo once again, ball's loose.
And the Bears come up with
Well,
it.
they're pointing
Do they
that
have
way.
it?
I believe so.
And it is East Brunswick's ball.
So
So with 1:53 showing on the clock, the Bears will have it in Woodbridge territory.
East
And
Brunswick is
timeout
gonna-
East Brunswick.
Yeah, they're going to use one of their
I think
timeouts.
Bettis came up with it, or Bettis or Gurman. One of them came
Okay.
up with it.
During this interruption in play,
East Brunswick will have 1 timeout.
the marching band would like to thank the cheerleaders for a great season.
And ideally, what you'd like to do is fire one to the end zone.
I'd like to get that quick score if you can, that's for sure, and come back, do your onside kick, and
Alongside 2.5 guys, a great job to cheerleaders.
create a miracle.
Outstanding group.
You know, I saw the official talking to Feigenwinter. I'm wondering if he's been thrown out of the game.
Well, there would have been a penalty.
That's what I would think,
Yeah.
but don't know what. I don't want to accuse the young man of anything, but the referee definitely went up to Feigenwinter and wrote something down on a piece of paper. And now they're talking.
It may have been that, do you have any Feigen winners in Union County?
Exactly.
If so, let me take your name here.
Right.
You know,
Know of any
long
good
lost
German-
relatives or something like that. It could have
German
been that.
restaurant, perhaps. Okay.
He was ordering a ham sandwich. Poor kid's played a great game. He's got to be hungry.
He's played a great game. He certainly has.
Kilkenny pumps, looks, puts it up left for Wolf.
Oh!
And Slickner there again.
Slickner there again, and Wolf with a fine effort himself.
2nd and 10, 1:48 left on the clock.
These are high-risk plays, no doubt about it. When you float the ball up like there, you're hoping that somebody's going to come down with it.
Or you get the flag.
And I'll tell you, if you're looking for an MVP, Rich Slickner may be my MVP today for Woodbridge.
2nd and 10. Kilkenny looks over the middle for Wolf. Low high, intercepted. Riley.
Riley.
Kilkenny over the middle. Intercepted by Nick Riley, number 34.
Wolf was open, but the ball just a little bit behind and right into Riley's hands.
And I think that's going to about do it.
Yeah.
East Brunswick 1 timeout left.
1:42 on the clock. So the Bears did make it exciting here in the 4th quarter.
I'll tell you, look at Bill Nyers. He's always coaching. He's not worried about patting kids on the head or anything like that. He's talking, he's coaching.
Russo once again. Timeout, East Brunswick.
Kevin Johnson pounding away. Brought down by the interior defensive front of East Brunswick.
And I think they're going to take flag and winner out of the game.
And
What an outstanding game this young man had
he
tonight.
has had, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
But a couple of the Woodbridge kids were baiting Frank.
And coming in for him is number 72, Darnell Hendrickson. And Darnell, 5'8", 260.
So unless something dramatic happens, East Brunswick will fall to 5-3, Woodbridge 6-2. We mentioned East Brunswick will conclude their 95 season, taking on Old Bridge at home on Thanksgiving. Woodbridge will come out 2nd and 8, 1:16 showing on the clock.
Takes a knee.
Slickner will go down on one knee. East Brunswick has 1 timeout remaining. Clock is running. It's kind of been a strange season.
Yeah, it has. It's started out with a lot of promise, I thought. Primarily because this is one of the better defensive teams I've seen East Brunswick field this year. And then they had that unfortunate game against Bishop R where they were shut out. Really didn't generate any offense. And then
Oh, it's not that they didn't generate. Matter of fact, they ran up and down the field. What they did was committed those turnovers.
7 turnovers in that game.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what hurt them there. Then,
Yeah.
then the Piscataway game where
Which they could have won.
a late turnover, you
Yeah.
understand there.
Yeah.
And this is the only game I think where they clearly been beat.
22 seconds now remaining in the game.
And I don't know if they're going to have to. Yeah, I think they have to get one play or else they're going to get penalized.
22-8 is the score.
And Nyers has been on the field more than he's been off the field. He's standing clearly on there now. I mean,
Well, I don't think he wants anything to happen here.
that's the delay of the game. And
3 seconds showing as the Woodbridge crowd comes away pleased on a night that their seniors were honored.
And they have a lot to be proud of. This team produced a wonderful effort. And if nobody knew of the Slickner brothers, they do now.
You're not kidding.
okay, we'll take the knee, and that will be it.
And Slickner will run around and drop down, and that'll do it.
Decided not to take the knee. Interesting.
And so Woodbridge wins. And a little discussion after that final play.
There's talking going on out there.
Our final, Woodbridge 22, East Brunswick 8. As we said, East Brunswick falls to 5-3. Woodbridge goes to 6-2. Marcus Boarding out in the center of the field, congratulating the Woodbridge coaching staff. A game where Woodbridge is defense thoroughly dominated East Brunswick's offense
Thank you for coming.
until really the fourth quarter when East Brunswick was able to
Drive on
get some semblance of a passing game going.
Right, and that forced Woodbridge to open up its defense a little bit, so they had more passing room. But Slickner, Mike, was it Mike or Rich?
Mike.
Okay, in particular, came up with those fine defensive plays, and so East Brunswick will have to lick its wounds and regather itself for the Thanksgiving game against Old Bridge.
Right, it was Rich, of course. Rich Slickner came up,
Okay.
but either way, Slickner on both sides, sides of the ball there. Some outstanding efforts by the young brothers there. And the Bears, again, you feel sort of bad for them because you know they can play better, and they have played better. And we just hope, as you point out, that come Thanksgiving they take it out on Old Bridge Knights.
And we'll be with you that Thanksgiving morning for the East Brunswick Old Bridge game. And until then, for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.